Good day, I'm Ikslorin, and let's try and see if I can actually get into the groove with playing a tempo deck. This tempo mage that everyone is just going crazy about right now. A very aggressive Flamewaker based tempo mage. I also did find a much more mid-range, a little bit more high-end tempo mage. Seems very interesting. I'm thinking about going for that one next week. Pretty much, please just tell us right in the comment section if you actually would want me to see would want me to play that. There we go. There's a sentence that actually makes sense, somewhat. Everything here is not going to be tempo because it's just too high end. We could go keep the water elemental, but we're against the priest, so it's just going to be Shadow Word Paint, and it's not going to do anything against his any weapons because he doesn't have anyone. So, except for the fact that I all of a sudden don't really speak proper English, we see a mana worm with a coin and a mirror image. Very good start. Except if he has a Shadow Word Paint, this is going to be a really good start, especially if we can flame cannon whatever he plays next to something like if he plays something like yes, an Iron Beagle. No, close enough. So a Fire Blast probably, just to hit him in the face and keep the HP on this one. Don't see any reason to trade. We could also there's nothing really I would want to play. Frostbolting his face makes no sense at all, and flame cannoning an owl doesn't make sense at all either. So this is probably a better thing. I would probably just go for the Arcane Intellect here. Oh, let's just discuss this. If I go for Arcane Intellect, we are not going to get this mana worm buffed. He's going to have to go through one mirror image. He's going to be playing something else. We're going to have two flame cannons next turn. So we can flame cannon kill either the other minion or kill this harvest golem, trade away, and then the other flame cannon. And if we go for a flame cannon now and trade, next turn we would have to go up for Arcane Intellect and we would play off curve. So I think this is the better choice. Let's just go. So yes, because we still can deal with the board with double flame cannon next turn and trading with the mana worm. Cool. A little bit irritated that it is not something like a spider tank, because this thing has a drop, so the flame cannon can just kill that twice. I wouldn't actually be that irritated if it does that. Thank you. The Frostbolt can still very much kill the Harvest Golem, and then we can trade away. We would still need figure out, or actually we can then at that point just Fire Blast, because I have nothing to do with the rest of the 3 mana. And then just keep on poking him in the face. A flying machine. Okay, so this is some kind of... Oh yes, he's going to try and pretty much kill me in one turn or something like that. Oh, well, that pretty much solves everything we've got, every problem we've got. Does that kill it? Not really. So we're going to be in trouble if he's actually going to do a combo on this flying machine. But if he is actually going to be able to kill us with that, that is probably the most awesome way we would be able to die to this priest. So I would be pretty fine with that. I hope so, at least. A 2/4 Shadow Word Paint. It wasn't just a card that he top decked. A Holy Smite. So he's actually going to try and trade in this 1/5, or he's going to double Holy Smite. Holy Nova. Okay, that pretty much does it too. We haven't still seen a Shadow Word Paint. That is the only argument for not going for the Water Elemental. I would though argue that he is not having any Shadow Word Paint, since he used the Owl on the Mana Worm instead, which was arguably a worse trading, because I got a lot of damage into his face and was able to trade away with several things. Going for the Sylvanas, not going to do that much. We can only get a 1/6 with Wind Fury, not going to be anything noteworthy. We can go for an Azure Drake with an Arcane Missiles. Not going to do anything either, except we are going to get card draw with that. So I will say this is probably the best thing. We can freeze the flying machine with that, so that if he actually would want to go for the combo, we can pretty much shut it down. And I will argue that there's no Shadow Word Pain in his hand, at least not the 3 cards he has right here. Mind Blast. Well, that is very reminiscent of the last time we lost with the Freeze Mage. Not complete, not turn 2, but still. Fireball. We could actually, a little bit, it could be worth maybe going for the Fireball on just on this one. Nah, Fireball face to finish him off is way more value. Or way better. Couldn't go for Source. I don't really see any reason to go for a Sorcerer's Apprentice. There we go. Pronounce that somewhat correctly. The main reason is just that he can Holy Nova again, and we will get nothing out of her. Yes, she will be in play. Yes, she will be able to be going straight for face and do some damage. But she won't. If we had seen a Holy Nova now, we wouldn't have gotten anything out of her. So I was just a little bit reluctant with that. Well, we can't trade away with everything we have. Just go for Ragnaros, really. That is I like that. Why not? We can also go for the Mad Scientist, so that we will get something out of a Holy Nova. We also have seen already one Holy Nova. So probably it's going to be more than fine to say that we're not going to see another one. Just because of the same reason we haven't seen a Shadow Word Pain yet. Clockwork Giant, okay. Is this some kind of fatigue priest? I don't think so. Makes very little sense, at least. Well, we can go for Arcane Missiles and then see if we can just keep Ragnaros safe, because if Ragnaros goes for face, he can trade away as he would want to. So if all Arcane Missiles are going to go in, it would be trading with the Asia Drake. If not, Fireball. Yeah, we should probably have played the Fireball first, so they would have gotten the most value. But like, we can be pretty certain that there's no Holy Nova in his hand. If there is, we are going to get a secret. And he's not going to be able to kill Ragnaros with a Holy Nova, so that would be lethal anyway. You will have to have a Shadow Word Death and a Holy Nova, plus some way to deal with the Asia Drake. Mind Control. Not enough. Not enough. So there we go. A win. Very solid win. Being a little bit reluctant with playing all of these minions seemed to work out. I mean, we could probably also have played it without any problems, just due to the fact that he has no... he had not the cards, so we would actually have been able to probably kill him 1 or 2 turns earlier, but... It's a win anyway, so... I'm more than content with how that game went. So let's see if we can actually hit 16 with this. Another Warlock. At least if this Warlock is something that I know, I would be able to play against it and not some kind of Murloc thing. We did win against that one. Ah man, I can't even remember something that happened like 10 or 15 minutes ago. Well, let's see. I mean, he has some the basic card back, but there's a lot of older players who have just the basic card back, especially at the lower levels, just to do the mind games. So you shouldn't probably be reading too much into that. Coining something for 2, that would probably be a Knife Juggler. Man, I'm good at calling stuff. Flame Cannoning, that would be slowing him down. Wouldn't be doing anything for me though. Don't think he would have any charge, except if he's going for another, except if it is another Murloc deck. We can be pretty certain that this Mad Scientist will be able to trade. So it is a very aggressive Zoo, or at least he doesn't care about anything. So hopefully the Flame Cannon goes to the left. we go. Don't even know why I was trying to figure out where an RNG reliant card would have to go, because I couldn't change it anyway, but it would have been the best to just go for on the left side, because I then would be able to remove everything on the board that very turn. While if it was anything else, I wouldn't have been able to do that. If we go for an unstable portal, we would have 2 mana left. We could still play the Sorcerer Apprentice, or play whatever we get, so that is probably the better way around. That's a 3 mana thing, so it doesn't matter. And there we go. Go to face with that. We are going to go against Sue, so we probably should try and see if we can try and keep ball control. The problem though is, as I understand it, this is the very worst matchup for this deck, so at least we can heal ourselves, I guess. Okay, we need the Flamewaker and the counter spell out and hope for the RNG to be on our side. That is not on our side. Damn. I think this play of the Flamewaker and relying on RNG has probably been pretty bad. Especially since you now can get the Nubian egg into the Sorcerer Apprentice and do whatever else he would please. Really doesn't matter actually where he would go with any of these things. The Flamewaker already made it possible for it to be killed by anything. Oh, so he's not going to try and trade away now. That's interesting. So I will be able to just use the Flamewaker for more. I would probably rather have gone in, try and pop the Haunted Creeper, or try and kill the Flamewaker in one way or another. This I'm not so certain about, though we don't get any spells, so it doesn't matter at all. Ancient Drake, because that is something. Ah, yes, tempo play. Here we go. That is good, I guess. That is pretty good. And then this one. Yeah. He can not get through both taunts. We can get some spells, hopefully top decked, and we can trade away. I like this. Also, we have a 4/4, 4/4/4, and we would still have somewhat board control. But we can pretty much lose it at any point. And a Hobgoblin Zoolock. Okay, that is a very interesting choice. But works, Jesus, very well. And a Void Walk. Oh well, this is going to be bad. Hopefully we can get some kind of Frostbolt maybe. That would be very good. Except if we don't get that, we cannot really get to the Hobgoblin. Oh, thank you. How kind of you, King. Well, you can still do this. This and go in here. That is probably the better minion, because the mana one will not be able to do much. And go for face with the West, so that he has the better trading options. But really, just going in with getting the maximum damage out of all of this is really my my reasoning. And also because then I won't go for 2 into 1, so he will have to go with, for example, this one in here, this one in here, and this one in here. So we will take less damage and we will have more stuff on the board for the next turn. In a few turns it may not have mattered as much, but it may be enough to at least do something. This 1 or 2 turns. And well, maybe we should have a second mirror entity here, but it's very hard to tell if there's anything we can do about this deck when we are going to actually play against the worst matchup. So I probably shouldn't try and see if I can change anything about the deck right now, just due to that. But we can actually get pretty much again board control. We have Ragnaros for next turn, and we can trade in here and probably whatever else he plays. He can probably play a Doomguard though. That would be irritating, but Ragnaros hopefully would be able to deal with that. He would be able to play a Doomguard plus 2 other cards. And he's actually going to trade, so that's good. That's really good. And a Haunted Creeper. We cannot sadly Ragnaros trade in and kill. That's a little bit irritating, so I'm just going to go for face with the mana worm. Actually, Gag now is going very far down with the amount of HP he has. He's already down to 10. And if Ragnaros goes for face, we are actually just going to be able to pretty much kill him with a mana worm. Or the mad scientist, or whatever. We are actually at 28 HP. How? Well, this was something that I wouldn't have expected. Power Overwhelming gets shut down by the counter spell. Probably destroying anything he would have wanted. He would probably have wanted to kill the mana worm, eat it, and then taunt. Or kill Ragnaros. Well, there we go. Doomguard. The problem is, mana worm is uncontested. Except for the life type, but he doesn't have any mana for it, so yeah, the life type kills him, and a win against a Zoo. I'm pretty... that is probably the win that I'm most satisfied about, actually. I was actually a little bit worried when I realized, or remembered that this should be the worst matchup, and we're actually on a winning streak here now too, and there's some gold. Sweet. Let's go for another one. Let's see if we can get another one in here. Maybe go over time again, like last episode, but... sure, you're probably going to be happy about that. Have to remember before recording the next video to get some more water. I've already this one cup emptied. That's a little bit sad. Just a little bit. A rogue. Cool, so we probably have to mulligan at least somewhat aggressively for water elemental. Though this looks too good to be true. Sorry, I cannot not keep all of this. Frostbolt to remove any early minions. Mana Worm coin, Mana Worm, Frostbolt next turn, or Mad Scientist if nothing gets played. Sweet. We can even Frostbolt his face should he play the dagger. So that we can deny any use of the poison, whatever. It's called something poison, but yeah, so that we can deny that at least for one turn, and then we will get a lot more damage in before he would be able to hit us in the face and blade flurry. Though he could still blade flurry, but then he would lose one charge from the poison. So I guess that would be more than fine value. Nah, not really. But if he is living up to his name, he's going to be very aggressive. There's a Mech Warper, so if he doesn't play anything, we're going to Frostbolt it and just get some tempo in here. We are not going to be able to play on curve next turn, but removing the Mech Warper is probably more important than anything else. Just due to the fact that it will keep his tempo away, so we are going to actually get tempo compared to him. Problem is now right now if we let him trade, he's going to go in here, and I will then have to fire blast it. I can fire blast it, go into face with everything, then he will trade in this way. I will fire blast it again, and I will have still this 3/3 on the board.
I wonder.
Yes, that is the better. I don't believe they have any. Oh damn! I forgot about the sensei. He can throw down a sensei, trade, and I will be in a lot of trouble.
Something needs tinkering?
Tinkertown Technician. Close enough. So he's trading this thing, so it didn't matter. Field, okay. Well, then I'm really just going for the Mad Scientist probably, and into face. Could go for an Arcane Missiles just so that we are going to be sure that this trading is going to be more than it's going to be beneficial. Well, we can fire blast it next turn, and no matter what it goes into. So that's good, and we already brought him down to 15. A little bit nasty, but we also did open with 2 Mana Worms and a lot of some spells. So I guess it is to be expected to actually get him all the way down to 15 at turn 4. But that is only one turn after a Face Hunter would be able to get you down to 15. So that is a little bit dirty.
Fools.
Maybe we would want to trade here, but then we will fire blast it and not be able to do anything. We can go for the Asia Drake. He would then trade in. We can go for the Mad Scientist into face. We will see the drop. We will be able to trade. Would that be better? Wait a minute. So if we go for Mad Scientist in here, Fire Blast, right? We will have 3 mana left for nothing. But we will have this drop down. So when we play the Asia Drake, it will be safer. So we will have a 4-1 or 4-2 on the board. And a secret up. Where if we go for this Asia Drake now, we will have a dead Asia Drake, we will have a traded Mad Scientist and a secret. Okay, so we will not use all our mana this turn to have a better, have an alive Asia Drake. Except if he backstabs the Armani Berserkers now to, yeah, if he backstabs the Armani Berserker, we can probably be rather certain that the Asia Drake is going to be alive. Goblin Autobarb, okay, so cool. That is though going to be killed. I did also that play before, that is, but he's going to down to 12, so we only need 1 extra turn to actually kill him. We actually have lethal. I don't see any reason not to just go for this. I don't believe a rogue will be able to kill us this very turn when we are at 28 HP. I would love to see it, but I think we're pretty much having him dead now. Pile of the Shredder, that is not going to keep him alive. He would have to go for the antique heal bot to actually stay alive. And then this fireball would have been wasted. But that is a second fireball, and well played. There we go. This is a very, very... This deck just wins a lot of games, but I guess either I'm getting into the groove of doing tempo plays, or this deck is just much easier than what else I've played. The Freeze Mage. Yes, no matter what, the Freeze Mage is much more complicated. And any of the other decks that I have over here, at least these 3. I like these 2 are just gimmick decks, so they don't count, but it is certainly winning. And very, very good at that. So, thank you for watching. See ya.